What's that fluffy thing?
It's like the mic.
Oh, hi,
Yeah.
these friends in Singapore. I'm the driver for today. I work for her.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Wait, no. Okay, so you must be wondering, why are you out here just talking into a Moomin microphone? The reason is I'm doing a Q&A, and quite frankly I'm doing this freestyle. Like, as much as I can plan like how I'm gonna answer my questions, I feel like it's more friendly this way to film a Q&A. This setup is very unprofessional, I know, and I'm filming this right in the middle of a train station, but that's fine, I think. My name is Zelia, not Zoop Loop, and I'm born on the 4th of October 2001, and I am enrolled, or when this video comes out, I was enrolled in Monash University, and I studied the I'm graduating or graduated with the bachelor's in media communication under the media specialization. So obviously the continuity of these questions will be all over the place, and I'll be wearing different clothes and different makeup in different places, but you get the gist. Okay, it's gonna be something really informal. So I did not live on campus, so I don't think I am the best person to consult on this, but I think for Caulfield, I mean, like, people are just people, right? They're really friendly, like, in classes. Yeah, and also because, like, most of the, I would say, like, action is on Clayton campus, and I rarely go there because all of my classes are based in Caulfield. But there's welfare events, like, every week, like Monsoon on campus, where they give out free food or, like, live music. Usually what everyone says on tips on how to make friends is to join clubs and put yourself out there, or like in events or whatnot. But personally, I'm just not the type to like socialize in a big group of people. But my personal tip is to make friends in class. So like, for example, the classmates you meet in class, you make the effort to know them outside of class, or to like talk to them more outside of class instead of just like, you know, like school stuff, and be genuine about knowing them better. My train is coming. I need to stop filming here. Yep. 3, 2, 1. I'd say it's really dependent on what you're studying, because I'm basically studying media, or like arts in general. I guess Monash is known for Monash Arts, but I'd say like the facilities for like STEM based subjects are more advanced. Like, you know, you have access to labs, and you have access to like, I'd say, like very big industry partners, and my course map didn't really allow me for like an internship, or it's just very difficult circumstance for me to get an internship with the school. So I'd say yes if you are going for STEM, because Monash is known for their really, really good facilities. But for other majors, I'd say you might want to widen your options. I'm trying to be very politically correct here, because I come from Monash, so I feel like I have to put in a good word, and I feel people staring at me because I'm talking to a camera in a cafe. But anyway, one of the most frequently asked questions, like be it from my friends or I'd say from family, is like, what would you miss about Melbourne, and what are your plans post-graduation? I would love to take a gap year, but I think I like to buy things too much to take a gap year. So I don't think I'll be taking a gap year. I'll probably be doing like a few internships post-grad, like when I move back to Singapore. What I'd miss about Melbourne? I would miss the very carefree life here, because here nobody really cares about what you're doing. Because have you seen the weirdos on the street of Melbourne? No, I'm kidding. It's just more chill here, and I think it's a really nice place to live in. But realistically, it's just very hard as an international student to find a job here. So the most realistic plan for me right now is to move back to Singapore to first have a solid foundation for my career. So yeah, that's what's poppin'. I budget around $200 a week. So if you're gonna categorize them, I spend about $50 in transport, and then another $50 for groceries, and then miscellaneous expenses are $100. So that includes like I'd say like eating out, or like maybe like buying stuff that I want. But these like numbers, not numbers, but I'd say like the categories like fluctuate between like they fluctuate every week depending on social activity. So like if I go out with friends more, then maybe I'll spend more. Maybe if I staying at home or like I'm studying, then maybe I'll spend less. Yeah, so these numbers fluctuate, and honestly in Australia it's quite expensive to eat out. So like one meal on average is about $25, and you know, like if you really need lunch, you should pack. Like, you know, like in school it might be more expensive, or like I don't know, maybe like you could cook lunch, meal prep. I think that's what most people do, like after realizing like how much of a dent it makes into your wallet when you eat out very often. For miscellaneous expenses, I have my own part-time job, but my mom helps out with rent. So like, you know, like everything that I buy that isn't like a necessity, I'd say is with my own money. Like really all of them is like I earn my own money and pay for it myself. I just feel like it's more gratifying that way, and I feel like I shouldn't ask my mom for money to buy the things I want. This is a very highly debatable topic, and I think like baristas can relate to me. I'm not a barista by any means, but I would like to proclaim myself as a, I would say, oat milk connoisseur. My preferred oat milk brand is Minor Figures. Yeah, like the one with the human big bird, because it's the first ever oat milk I tried with a matcha latte thanks to my friend. My other go-to brand if I head to Woolies is Califia. Is that how you pronounce it? Califia oat milk. I actually like how it tastes in coffee and matcha. Like it tastes good in both of them. But the one brand that I really, really do not like is Oatly. I swear, like all of my friends who work in Starbucks, right, they are like, why do you hate Oatly so much? I'm like, well, it just doesn't taste that good. I feel like it doesn't taste good in like any beverage either. And I can attest to that because I've tried Oatly. I've tried Oatly myself, like it like on its own, and also like mixed with like other beverages, and also with like a actual barista making it with Oatly, and I didn't like any of them. So fight me on this. I do not like Oatly. How is transport like in Melbourne, or do I really need a car or license? I'd say it's recommended to have a license because like if you want to go on road trips, it's very convenient for you to just drive around and rent a car. Unlike a loser like me, like I failed my driver's test multiple times. I haven't passed yet, by the way, so that's really fun because I can't really like spend my time to drive out alone. I have to depend on my friends who have driver's license, which I honestly feel very bad because I'm just like a passenger princess, and like obviously not everyone is down for that, you know. So I feel like the wisest thing would be to have a license and rent, because obviously you don't need a car to travel everywhere. But if you have the budget, then I'd say go for it, because having a car is so convenient here. It gets you to places, but it does get really hectic like in the CBD area. And yeah, unless you stay very far from school, which I don't think you should, because you can save on transportation costs and like gas, and oh my gosh, that's another truck. Yeah, so like if you stay nearer to school, the more you save on transportation. Also for PTV, like public transport, if you're asking about the public transport infrastructure in Victoria, I'm not a fan, because like sometimes they just like cancel on you, like they just ghost you, or like I don't know, they just say like it's delayed for like 30 minutes and you can't do anything about it because it's just delayed, and what else can you do about it but wait. And also like it's a bad thing because no matter how early you are, like if the train is late, right, you're just late for work. I think that's just one thing that's really really annoying. And also a one-way trip is $4.60, which is really expensive if you compare it to Singapore's like transport infrastructure. And it's $900 a year if you go for the student concession, which is honestly a deal if you travel often, but like who has like fortune telling abilities to tell that they'll use public transport often. So yeah, I think it's worth if you think that you travel very often on the PTV, but otherwise I think you shouldn't be spending that amount of money on like concession. Yeah, but anyway, I just went on a whole ass like detour, but yeah, my thoughts changed. I think maybe it's not as, I would say, bad as I thought. I only recently went for Gina's like open class recently, and I would say like after going for that class, my thoughts on the dance scene changed a lot, because like I began to experiment with like genres that I'm not comfortable with, or like I would say techniques I wasn't comfortable with, like for example like footwork. Like today was a very footwork heavy class and I was really not comfortable. The moment she said like, oh, today's class the focus is on the footwork and I will not be teaching your upper body, I was just like, what the heck. Like I knew that I was gonna like just pass out. Like personally I would prefer Sydney's like dancing because there are more instructors that can cater towards the genre that I'm comfortable with. But I also took this as an opportunity to like train myself, and especially with like a really really good, like a world-class instructor. Like it's really an honor to train with Gina. And I'm also in like the advanced team for this term for Ascendant Studio, so now I guess it's fine. Like I'm more open to the idea of going to dance in Melbourne, but will it be my top city to dance in? Not exactly. Like I would rather like, I mean, the main point of class is to have fun, but like I would prefer my class to challenge me like in every class, instead of just learning choreography over and over again and not taking anything out of it. Okay, so the weather got cold and yeah, that's why I switched places and I'm wearing a puffer now. Maybe I have, maybe I don't. I'm kidding. I would say it's between two people that I kind of have a crush on, but like I forget about it like occasionally. So one of them, I would say, like I'll describe like what they wear in general. So the first person, he wears all black, which is a very common trait amongst like Asian guys. Well, now you know their ethnicities, okay, but yeah, he always wears like all black like whenever I see him. And he always wears a cap, but recently he cut his hair, so I'm like, ooh, that's a really nice look. Do what you want with that information. Second guy, I always see him in very nice sweaters, which make me like oh, like his dressing is really nice. And I would say I recognize him because of his shoes. Like he wears like all black like Air Forces. Like I'm like very basic me with white Air Forces that all dancers wear, but yeah, he is a bit taller, and I think I'm gonna offend a lot of people saying this, but it's a very specific angle, so don't come at me. Like from the bottom angle, like for example you sit down and he's standing up, from the bottom side angle he kind of looks like Mark Lee. I shouldn't be doing this to like Mark because I like him a lot as well, but he does look like that. So some people asking me what I prepared before flying over to Australia. Obviously the stuff that I prepared was quite different because I came in when COVID restrictions were still quite there. I prepared my visa grant, my school offer, my vaccination, COVID vaccination and test result, but they didn't check any of it, so I did not prepare much like home goods because most of them can be bought at Kmart. But one thing is, if you're bringing food, you have to declare it, because there was one time this girl got fined like $2,000 when she brought like a Subway sandwich into Australia. I mean, that's on you for not declaring the food, or like honestly just don't bring it, because the Asian supermarkets will still sell it anyway. So I don't think you should be bringing food into the country unless you absolutely need it, like medicine. But even those you need to declare because they are part of like food items. Yochi is so cool. The locals are quite friendly actually. They're all like quite, I would say, extroverted even though they are not. And they know how to make conversation. So like that's what I noticed with my Australian classmates. Like they never really run out of things to talk about. At first the accent and slang is hard to grasp because like it's quite thick and I wasn't used to it. But like the more you watch, I guess, like Australian content, like the news, radio, like you hear on Ubers or something, the more you get used to it. Pace of life is definitely more relaxed than in Asia, I would say. And what I noticed was also like they start their day really, really early. Like they have really packed social lives. Like after work they just like go out and drink or something. And then after that the next day they start the whole thing again, which is so exhausting. I have no idea how they do it, but and thoughts of the pace of life, I actually like it as it makes me less anxious. Like people are just taking things more slowly and they are not very urgent about a lot of things. I don't regret much, but if I were to nitpick at what I regret, it would be not expanding my social circle. And I don't really put myself out there enough. Like I didn't join clubs or like was very active in school events. So I don't really have like a friend group. But I do have like friends here and there. Maybe also like I would have preferred it if I tried out a different major. But realistically, I'm not good at a lot of things. But I don't think I can take any more studying. So yeah, that's why I'm not in STEM, and I've graduated, or I graduated from an arts degree. Okay, I shifted places. No, I just shifted a seat. And I'm wearing shades not because I'm obnoxious. It's because like if I were to sit on the other side, it would be a backlight, and if I sit here, the light is better, but the compromise is my eyes. So I'm wearing shades to protect my eyes. Believe it or not, I used to be very, very self-deprecating. I mean, I still am, but I feel like I'm less self-deprecating than I was last time. I didn't really show it. Like, it's not very visible, I guess, if you talk to me, but like deep inside, I just have really, really low self-esteem and self-confidence. But that changed here. I became more confident. I gained more self-esteem. I used to also be very, very harsh on myself when I make mistakes. So when I got here, I got way more lenient with myself. Not way more lenient, but I still am hard on myself, but I am more lenient to my mistakes as compared to when I was back home. And I guess I can cook now. I'm not like a very good cook, but I think I can cook to survive. Like if you tell me like, I can't like eat out for like 1 week, and I'll be like, okay, sure, I'll just like cook something for the rest of the week, and I'll just be eating the same thing like for the entire week. I don't think that's a good cook or like even a cook, but like I definitely can cook better than I did back at home because my mom cooks, and sometimes, no, most of the time my parents buy back meals for me. So I didn't see a reason why I should learn how to cook until I moved here. I will not elaborate on why that was my wildest experience ever. And I think the one I'm going to talk into detail is like me dancing with Gina Michael. She is a very respected dancer in the industry, and I never would have imagined in my entire life that I'll be dancing with her because she's so like up there. But here I am like in her dance team and performing for her company's end of year showcase. I still cannot believe that I'm doing that. Like I cannot believe that I'm saying that like to the camera and to myself, like, you're on her dance team, you're training under her, she knows you, she knows about you, that kind of thing. Like I legitimately cannot believe it, but I think that is really wild and something that I can never forget. And one of the biggest takeaways, Gina, if you're watching this, I don't know if you ever will because you're really busy, but like, I love you, and I'm really grateful that you have adopted me into your team, even though I'll only be here for like a few months. I would love to stay, but so far the situation does not allow me to, and I feel very sad about it. But yeah, if possible, I would really like to train with you for a really, really, really long time, even after like I move back. What was the hardest thing I struggled with when moving to Melbourne? It's most definitely adulting on my own because I lived with my parents back at home, and then when I moved here, I was basically alone. And I had to solve a lot of things on my own, like I had a bedbug situation, and I had to do admin stuff like tax and also finding a job to sustain my not casual spendings, but like my miscellaneous spendings. And on top of both of them, I had to start school. And I was in my third year of uni. And the third year of uni is always the hardest, like, essentially. So I had to deal with all of that all at once. And that was not easy. But I think I grew a lot from it. Like, all of that just basically prepares me for the future. So I wouldn't trade that with anything else, basically. Like, the thing I miss the most about Singapore is definitely the food, because you can get cheap and good food in Singapore like pretty easily, and it's not really the same for Melbourne, honestly. So I think online shopping is another one, because there's like Shopee and Lazada, and the stuff on there are also pretty cheap. So that's what I miss about Singapore. And the convenience of travel, because the country is really small. But in Australia, like, you have to put a lot of things into mind, like if your train will be late and like the train comes at certain timings. It does not come in the same frequency as in Singapore, like maybe like every 5 minutes. What I did to deal with homesickness was to regularly call my friends, like FaceTime them, and I will also like send them food whenever they feel like they didn't feel well. And I also picked up dancing again to distract myself from being homesick, because I haven't been home for the past like 8 months. Yeah, that was another one. And my comfort food is definitely my comfort food is dumplings, like 小笼包 or like 生煎包. Yeah, those are my favorite comfort foods here.
Am I gonna make it into your vlog?
Yeah, you are.
I'm famous. This is Cherry.
Cherry. Hi, babe. We're on the way back home.
Yeah, I wanna hear you vlogging. Okay.
No. Now I'm embarrassed.
Now you're embarrassed. What do you mean? I just vlogged the first half.
Huh?
I just did the first half.
You did the first half. Yeah, because like I was thinking like if I could get you into my vlogs, but I feel like
Oh my god, totally.
yeah, but like I like at that point of time I thought like, oh my god,
Well, I feel like I have to know people a bit better.
yeah, and like I felt like if I asked you to like randomly, and then I'll be like overstepping my boundaries or something.
Oh,
so I was just like,
I become really good friends with the people I train with. Look at the video. Yeah, she's like, oh, trying to like stay on for the camera. Yeah, I'm really like, my team is my team. Like, they're my people. So you can really just, I mean, also I'll just say no if I don't like something, you know?
yeah.
But I don't get like, oh my god, who's dead? Maybe day one I might have been.
Yeah. I mean, obviously I wouldn't do that like on day one.
She's like, obviously I wouldn't do that. Now it's day 2. Now day 2, ready to go. Now we're better.
I love these type of videos.
Okay.
What's up? I don't know what to say, but subscribe to her. She's cool.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for saying hi.
I'll be. What's it? How do you pronounce it?
Zubloop.
Zubloop.
Yeah.
What do you call it? I'm gonna comment.
Like
on
vlogs and stuff. Yeah.
I'm gonna say another W post from Zubloop. Nice thing for YouTube. TikTok. Thank you so much. That's so cool.
Thank you for saying hi.
Blow up or something.
Yeah. See ya.